Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Train Simulator Classic, aka Railworks. And today we're going to be taking a look at, I guess technically there's two packs. Not really going to be focusing on one of them. It's more just I placed it so that people know that it exists. We're going to be looking at the West Somerset Heritage Railway, available on Steam right now. It is on sale due to the anniversary of the West Somerset Railway. Oh, as my indigestion comes to murder me for some reason. But, anywho, it is the anniversary of the West Somerset Railway, and it went on sale on Steam, 80% off. So for $3.99. This has been going on for a little bit, but you still got a day-ish, 24 to, well, let's see, Steam, 26 hours. Plenty of time to pick this up if you want to. And there's a bundle. That's part of the reason that I have the other half of this down. So there's a bundle, which is the West Somerset Railway, plus the WSR Diesels Twin Pack, which is a better deal, 60% off. So it's $11.99 US dollars. So for $12, you get an entire heritage route, plus a small set of diesel locomotives that I believe also come with a freight. I guess I could just click on this since I've got it up. Whoops. Yeah, you can you get the diesel pack that comes with, which will come with the Class 47 and the Class 03. Take it with a grain of salt. Neither one of them are new. They've both been around for a while. You'll get BR Mark 1 coaches and assorted 2-axle freight cars with that diesel pack. And then, of course, the core route itself will come with 2 steam locomotives and a Class 30-something? 33? Question mark? Absolutely none of it is new. Quite literally, none of the rolling stock is new. It has been around for years. Very many years. So, I mean, yeah. Does it fit historically? Sure, but these Mark 1s have been around for a very long time in Train Simulator. They have not really gone through an update. The BR03, that's probably one of the better looking of the lot, but it's still very much dated. I believe it's a Class 33. This comes with the route. Again, one of the better looking of the lot. It's probably the newest locomotive in the lot. Not dead certain. Definitely looks better. Class 47. It's been in the game for as long as I've been playing the game, so it's definitely not a new model. The Ravingham Hall. Now, neither one of these locomotives are dynamically numbered. These are specific to the route. Again, you can do way better with a Victory Works model. I don't know that Victory Works has done the halls yet. I think somebody else did the hall, though. I think it might have been Bossman Gaming that did a hall. To be perfectly honest, I haven't gone over. I couldn't pick these out in a crowd. The GWR 460s all look very, very, very much the same. So it's hard for me to really go absolutely. But again, old model, been around a very long time. And probably the oldest one of the lot here. The 7F, the SDJR 88. This Prussian blue 7F has been in the game since the game was a game. my God, it's been around for a very long time. It is a very dated model, and it very much shows. And so, that is your, that is the included rolling stock. And now the route. The route, I like it, but in usual heritage route fashion, the entire route is 25 mile an hour. That gets very old very fast with a majority of locomotives that are, they walk at 25 mile an hour. It's pitiful. Now I'm sure I'm stepping all over some dudes nerds over the UK. Just because of XYZ, I have an opinion. I have a right to my opinion. That is my opinion. 25 mile an hour gets very boring. It's the same thing in the United States. Every single heritage and scenic route around, that's like their top speed, and it's okay on little short 4 or 5 mile routes, but this is one of those routes where 25 gets old real quick because the route is pretty decently sized. It is something like 20 miles. Now, I'm sure some of you are like, 20 miles, that's nothing, right? There's 100 and, what's Donner's Pass, like 140 miles or something like that. Cool, good for you if you sit and run those end to end. I don't. 20 miles for me is normal. It's normally the happy size for me. Like, I really like the little short 7-8 mile heritage routes, like a lot of the freeware stuff that's available on the workshop. But this one I ended up picking up because photo wise it actually looks really decent if you consider the amount of detail into it. Again, there's a ton of reusing with this route. I mean, on one hand, there's a lot of custom like buildings, as far as like the railroad itself, the trackside buildings and whatnot actually do look pretty decent. I mean, you've got a lot of these restoration, storage, heritage sheds and whatnot, the platforms, the stations themselves, the invisible turntable. It's been an issue in TSC for a decade. But, overall, a lot of the custom assets like this look really, really good. And then they dropped the ball with the scenery and forgot that scenery exists once again. And vegetation did not get an update at all, so we get these weird cotton candy 3D trees and the billboard bushes. But it does look pretty decent in spite of, I don't want to say because of, absolutely in spite of the heavy usage of very long outdated vegetation. It is a pretty good looking route. So I picked it up. I've had it long before this sale started. This is one of those routes that I saw it was a steam heritage railway, so I absolutely had to have it when it came out. I'd be a liar if I said I'd come back to it very many times. Again, it looks really good overall. I mean, heck, if I could ever figure out how to swap out mass assets in TSC, I'd swap out all this crap with AP vegetation, and it would make such a night and day difference. Sure, it would look drop dead gorgeous. But I mean, look at this. This is a perfect straight shot, and it's 25 miles an hour. Oh my goodness. It feels like you crawl. Now, an interesting aspect of the route is it is a heritage railway. However, it's not operated by one particular group, which I found quite interesting. It is the longest? Yeah, the longest heritage railway in the UK. So, with that in mind, it means you end up with a lot of other organizations tied into the railway, which is, I think, is pretty cool. It gives the opportunity for a lot of different opportunities for consists and whatnot for people to check out, see different things to operate different days. I could not tell you which operation is based out of where. Um, I haven't researched it enough to really know, but I do know it's a fairly common sight to see steam and diesel in operation on the route at any given time. Um, and it can be anything from little tank locomotives all the way up to the big mainline locomotives. They get visitation from some of the big stuff. So as far as heritage railways go, it's really cool in that you can get away with just about anything and it look absolutely in place on this route. And you could probably find a point in recent history where just about anything has been on it at some point. So that's a cool aspect of it. Really, my only complaint with the route, and I get it's historically accurate, that's what the route is today, but gosh, the 25-mile-an-hour limit is grueling. This isn't the only route I have that complaint with. It's the same with, what is it, the CSX Hanover. I've owned that route for a long time and never run it end to end because the 25-mile-an-hour speed limit across the entire freaking route is so awful. So we come to one of our first little spots, I guess. Washford. So that's obviously a station stop, but it's got facilities for locomotives and whatnot. Pretty neat. If your game runs well, there's a really nice opportunity to have all sorts of motive power speckled up and down this route in a scenario. Very picturesque. Very, very fun looking. And if the vegetation got an update, if Dovetail Games would pull their head out of their ass and actually take the time to do some new vegetation, trash this 15, 16-year-old garbage, this route would really be a sight to see. Because it really doesn't look half bad. Now, another complaint that I have is the absolute, complete, and utter lack of any life anywhere on it. Like, you'll get these odd roads like this where they function, and that's where it ends. This is a heritage railway, bro. The stations have no people on them. There's no parked cars or buses or anything. There's no people walking up and down the roads or around the houses. I mean, look at this. There's a station stop right here. There's not one single person. The lack of any kind of life along the route is a little bit upsetting. Another one of those common issues I have with a lot of official, quote, routes. If it's approved by DTG, it probably looks dead. And this is no exception. There's no parked cars by houses. There's no people. I mean, heck, beaches all along right there. There's not a soul out there. It looks very empty without people. Oh, look, one single character. Doniford Halt. Lots of nice opportunities for screenshots and cool videos and whatnot, though. Like this right here would make a real cool screenshot. Locomotive coming out around here. Another major facility here. What does the station sign say? Where are we at? Wilton. Again, lots of storage here. We got sheds, sidings. And you'll find that in a handful of places along this route. Now, credit where it is due, it is very much not flat. So if you're not paying attention, you can easily outrun that 25-mile-an-hour limit or burn up your steam trying to get up a hill because you didn't plan on having to go up that hill. You might have let your fire die down or something. So it is very hilly, very curvy. Lots of little flag stops and whatnot like that. Now we'll try to fly in free roam like this all the way to the end, and then we'll go back to the other end and operate. I have a slightly newer, better quality locomotive to use. We'll operate a part of the line and see just how well it functions. Spots. Lots of storage. Oh shit. How far off in here does it go? Oh, pretty deep. Stick a tea kettle in there. Wow, there's a couple of people here. What is nice is there's plenty of steam locomotive servicing along the route. Water, I believe there's coal in a couple of places. Lots of water servicing. Very handy. And we come to our end. So this is the end of the route. Platform over here. It's got a kind of an interesting double Y. You can turn the locomotive around on. And the British Main Line. So there it is, end to end. The West Somerset Railway. Very picturesque, very nice, very fun looking. Well, let's run it for a second, and you guys can kind of see what I mean by, oh goodness, at 25 mile an hour. And it's probably a wildly different story, you know, operating in real life on a route, but in a video game, it's a walk that requires no effort. You got straight shots like this where you could really pick up and sprint. Star of the show today is a Victory Works War Department 210 Gordon. Because why not? If you've been playing longer than 20 minutes, you have seen all of that motive power back there, probably played with it, and probably long since gotten better motive power. So I'm not going to go function with that stuff. It's just, eh. Bust that up. Get fire built up a little bit here. In theory, we shouldn't need a huge boiling fire, given the... Got a nice powerhouse locomotive. Not terribly heavy a frame. Something else to be careful of along this route is, I've made this mistake a couple times too. A lot of these yards and whatnot are not 15 mile an hour; they're 10. So if you're doing some of the scenarios and whatnot, do be aware of that before you come flying into one of these yards doing 15 to 20 mile an hour. It definitely drops down to 10. Smoke. There we are at 25 mile an hour. And this right here is the rest of the route. Long, straight shot. Again, the whole route isn't straight and flat like this, but there are long sections like this right here that 25 mile an hour is just grueling. But there's the whole route. Not wildly huge, but definitely enough to keep one busy, especially if they like the heritage operations. Your computers can deal, or rather, if your game can deal with you having lots of locomotives and whatnot down. Ton of opportunity for some fun AI and scenario editing and whatnot. Really makes for a fun route. And there's a large number of DLC available that go along with this route. They're not specific to the route, quite like the diesel pack that goes with it in the multi-pack. They're just various locomotives and whatnot that fit the heritage operations and such. I hit close it. Kind of smothered the fire a little bit. Kill off the blasted safeties a little bit. So that's something else. You will get good at firing a steam locomotive on a route like this if you don't want to sit here and listen to those blasted safeties screaming the entire time. Because you can't fire a steam locomotive like you would on a normal route with a normal train. Normally you would fire it in anticipation of having to climb a hill using that steam generation or running up to speed. This is the total opposite. You're crawling along. You're not really pulling heavy trains. You got to figure out how to fire a steam locomotive in a way that it'll build pressure for what you need, but it won't sit here and continue to build pressure and blow off your safety valves when you're barely walking along across flat territory. Oh, and there's no sound of the rolling stock. Like I said, these are your old Mark 1s. They got no sound. Model is really not updated. There's nothing special about them. We'll stop up here for a minute. You guys should have a pretty good idea on how the route operates after that. Oh gosh, all these plastic trees, billboard trees and whatnot. 2024 guys, like come on. This stuff needs to go away, far away. Something else to look for on this route. It is kind of funny. The platforms are a little too close to the track. So, doesn't look too bad on the coaches if you don't look too hard. But with steam locomotives especially, the diesels a little bit, but the steam locomotives without a doubt, you'll notice it. Your cylinders and drive rods and whatnot are probably going to end up inside of the platform. So beware of that scenery picture takers. But there it is, guys, the West Somerset Railway. It is on sale. I highly recommend checking it out if you're a fan of heritage railways. It's very nice looking. It could definitely stand for some updating. Get rid of a lot of these older assets and whatnot. Put some newer ones in. But I overall, I like it. I think it's worth the money. I think it's pretty neat. As long as you can get over that dead crawl across the whole route, it's not half bad. With great opportunities for different motive power and whatnot. So definitely go check it out. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time.